me know in the comments which one you prefer, IAE or CFM. So, all right, that one's all good. Start engine number 1 started just fine. Starting engine number 2. Oh yeah, and we need to set up our departure. Performance, it's all been set up. We just sent that to our MCDU, so we are good there. Weights have been initialized, and predictive wind shear is coming on. It's all coming on. We can go ahead and turn on our transponder, and not 2000. We'll just squawk VFR just for. That's all good. All right, so we're good there. So APU bleed can come on or come off. APU can come off, and we can go ahead and threads are on auto. Taxi lights are coming on. Those are all good, and we'll go ahead and set flaps to 2. Go ahead and arm our speed brakes and set auto brake to max. And ground spoilers are armed, and we can go ahead and hit our takeoff config and check. Good there. And we'll go ahead and do our flight controls. Flight controls. Good there. Full elevator. Full rudder. Flight controls are free and correct. Alright, everything looks good. Alright, let's go ahead and release parking brake, and let's taxi on out. Alright, so far so good. Sometimes I haven't even gotten to this point. I have taken off and gotten about halfway to Dallas, which is about an hour and 10-minute flight, depending on the winds. And I've gotten about halfway there and I've gotten the frozen screen, so that's not good. Hopefully we don't have that. Good vibes today. Good vibes. Wow, that is kind of bad. A little bit of a shaking on the screen. I don't know how much I like that. Twitching of the screen. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go, this is Echo, and then we're going to go to Uniform, take Uniform all the way down to runway 20. This is my home airport. This is where I live, Springfield, Missouri. KSGF Regional. See anybody back there? Looks clear out there on final. Clear out that way. Clear out that way as well. Go ahead and hit our all calls. Let everybody know we are getting ready for takeoff. Rotate is at 133. V1's 130. Alright, we are at the end of... So, landing lights are coming on. All lights are good. Everything looks good there, and we are ready for takeoff. Takeoff says it's normal, so we're good. We're not going to use any ATC. Normally I'd be flying on VATSIM, but with us having issues with freezing, that kind of stuff, I want to make sure we don't have to worry about that and disconnect from the network and all that stuff. So we're not going to bother them with that today, so save that for another day. Let's take in runway 20. Alright, lined up on center line. Takeoff power set. And those engines sound good. And airspeed is alive. Everything's green. Fuel flow's good. There's 100 knots. And V1 and rotate. Positive rate. Gear coming up. And go ahead and pull us back to the climb detent. And flaps can come up to 1. And flaps 2. Autopilot can come on. And we can go direct Tulsa. And we'll continue our climb on up. And autopilot and ground spoilers are disarmed. After takeoff checklist is complete. Just need to wait through 10,000 and we can go ahead and turn off our landing lights. Alright. And we're climbing through 7,500, speeding up to 250 knots. and just getting our chart, since we changed it up to a different arrival, then thought I would definitely take a look at the arrival plate. Alright, so we've got our arrival, which is the finger 9. We're going to be coming in from the Tulsa VOR. So our first point that we need to worry about as far as being down is going to be at, you know what we're going to do, we're going to call an audible. We're going to do arrival is going to be ILS 18 right, and instead of the finger 9, we're going to do this severe 4. So ILS and we're going to do the severe 4 with the RNet transition, insert, and we're going to insert that, and then we're going to go direct RNet, insert, and then we'll go back to, there we go. Now we're direct RNet, so yeah, so now we're going to do the Seaver 4 arrival. So we're going to swap this up, and we're going to be doing this Seaver 4 with the RNet transition. And so and then we're going to be doing the ILS 18 left. Alright, so with the Seaver 4 arrival, we've got to be at switch at flight level 240. So switch, we need to be at flight level 240. Switch, insert that, and then them at 21,000. And then we just need to be at Yabbit at 6,000. So let's go to Yabbit. Yabbit 6,000. So we've got all that set. We're good there. And we are well on our way. We did set climbing through 18,000. We did get our standard barometric pressure set. We got all our landing lights off, so we are set up for cruise. And there we go. Alright, so we'll get some music playing. So I had my buttons on my joystick messed up, and so my track IR, whenever I wanted to go inside and outside of the cockpit, it would pause and unpause my... So there we go. So now we can look around. The track IR is working, so we're good there. Well, so far so good. We haven't had any issues with it freezing, so maybe he was right. So that was so let's give a big huge shout out to Roberto745. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right. So we're up on flight level 300. Got 2,000 to go until we're at cruise. As we we're well on our way to Dallas Fort Worth. So huge shout out to Roberto for that piece of advice for the alternate display. So far that seems to be working. That's great to hear. I love that. I'm glad that it is working. So it's nice to be able to fly on Flight Simulator 2024. So just got a message that there is a new pop-out manager for 2024. So that is huge. And that is nice. Hopefully that doesn't mess up the Hopefully it doesn't mess up the freezing and bring that back in. I don't think it would, because it was freezing without using it, so let's hope that it doesn't do that. Alright, and it is. Got it installed. Do have the new 2024 pop-out manager, so we'll definitely have to give that a try. But we are here at cruising altitude of flight level 320, and let's go ahead and, now that we have our checklist handy, we'll go ahead and grab that. So cruise cabin temp check, and let's go ahead and check our cabin temperature. And that's good. And flight plan, monitor the flight plan, so we're good there. All that looks good. So we're good there. Go ahead and turn off the seatbelt signs so passengers can get up, use the restroom, whatever they need. But it'd be pretty huge to be able to fly this airplane now. If you guys are here, if you guys would hit that thumbs up button and that subscribe button and the notification bell, that does help the channel grow. We are SIMSTRUMETATION. We are ones who build instrument panels for airplanes, so that way you can have a mouse-free cockpit. That's the whole point of what we do. We can build pretty much any plane that's in the simulator. Some of them work better than others as far as what variables they have that are accessible, but it's what we do at SIMSTRUMETATION. So if you like building home cockpits, well, thanks for joining. Thanks for the comments. It flies great. That's my nephew joining the stream. He's over here at the house, so. So we've got a little bit longer until we get to our top of descent, and so our top of descent will be just after Pleasy. That's when we'll start on down to flight level 240. So we've got to be at flight level 240 at switch, and we'll start just after Pleasy, which will be 2 checkpoints before we get to switch. So we'll have Chimley and Just. will be our 2 points that we'll check on. I do have a video on my YouTube channel that explains how to do this, so if you are interested in building a home simulator, I urgently suggest that you use touchscreens rather than using actual hardware. The hardware is great, and it is nice to have, but you're stuck to whatever airplane you want to model it by and use. So I would suggest using touchscreens because you can build instruments that you can touch them. You've got knobs that you can turn, just like anything, but you can literally within 2 or 3 minutes you can flop completely to a different airplane, and you can fly any airplane that you want. So that way, if you like to fly a bunch of different airplanes, then you can. So check out that video. It's the top one on my YouTube channel that everybody has seen, but it'll walk you through step by step of how to build your own flight simulator using the FENIX. FENIX to me is the best aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator. My favorite airplane is the ERJ-175 and FSS. Just have done that, so if you've seen some of those other videos, I have done those as well. So looks like some dirty water down there. So FS 2024 does look really, really good. Very pleased with what it looks like, especially for the first time. The performance of it for just launching. I know they had some hiccups with some things here and there, but it's a new sim. Simulators are hard to do, so props to them for fixing it so quickly and getting it to where everybody can get on it now. So would you like to say hi on YouTube?
Sure.
No? That's my niece. She's sitting beside me watching us fly. Alright, it's about time to start heading down. So I'll be going from flight level 320 to flight level 240. And we'll want to stay under 290 knots, which shouldn't be a problem. We're not even cruising at that, so shouldn't be an issue, but we'll monitor that as we go down. Do have some traffic out there, so let's see if we can't see some other airplanes. Says they're behind us, 6,000 feet above us, but I don't see them. Two gases wrong. Yes, your sister is down here, Bronson. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab our information for our destination. So we'll go over here to our MCDU, let's go to ATSU, and then we'll go to AOC menu, we'll go to weather, and we'll go to weather request. And so we want the weather for KDFW. Pop that in there. We want the METAR. We'll hit send. And let's go check our messages, receive messages. And there's our weather data. And it looks like wind is 210 at 10 knots, few at 25,000, 3002 or 3022. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to performance. Let's go to next phase. And let's go to our approach. And let's get the airports, and let's go to info. And we want the weather. And there we go. And so our is 3022. So 30.22. And our temperature is 13. And our wind is 210 at 10 knots. 210 at 10. And our minimums for the approach plate is going to be 802 feet above the ground. MSL be 200 feet above the ground. So we've got all of our destination info in there, so we are good there. And we are coming up on our top of descent. We've got about 34 miles, and we'll start on down. And we'll be able to go down to all the way down to 6,000 with the Yabbit. And our first after Yabbit, we'll be kind of on our own getting vectored, but we'll go to Grutch. So we can go ahead and hit clear. Alright. And we've got about 28 miles till we start our descent. Alright. Alright, got about 26 minutes to go on the flight, and then we'll start our descent on down. I'll just set it over here. Thank you, Pay. Peyton's my co-pilot right now. She's helping us out. Alright, so descent. Go ahead and turn on our seatbelt signs. Get ready for that. Anti-ice is required. MCDU, approach phase is set. All that's is set up. So we can go ahead and start our descent on down. And go ahead and hit our all calls. Let the flight attendants know that we are starting our descent. So we can go all the way down to 6,000. Set, and we just want to make sure that we level off at 24,000 if we get to 24,000 before we get to switch. So we're starting the arrival now. As we're coming up on Chimley, we've got about 6.5 to go before we get to Chimley. And then once we get through flight level 180, we will set our altimeters to barometric pressure. Well, it seems Roberto 745 is the man. He's the one that said to use the rendering, and so I checked that, and it seems to have done that, and it has done it well. So thank you very much for that piece of advice to you, because that has been super helpful. So coming down through that level 285, got about 2 degrees or 2 knot headwind, so pretty much non-existent headwind. Alright, and now we're coming up on switch. We've got about 2,000 to go, so I think we're going to hit that just fine. And then after that, we're going to have them, which will be at flight level 210 at 290 knots, which shouldn't be an issue. fuel on board is 9,400 pounds. We're only burning about, in our descent, we're only burning about 1,100 pounds per hour. So we have plenty of fuel to be able to land, and if we needed to, we can go mist and we can go to our alternate. So as far as the weather settings, I believe I have it set on live weather, which is what we want in real time. So, oh, here we go, live weather. I thought I had live weather. Whoa, there we go. That was a little rough. I was gonna say there was no way that was right, because only a 2-knot headwind, that seems a little crazy to me, but so let's get us some there we go. Oh, I see somebody right up in here, right above us, 2,000 feet above us. Thank you. That's the best co-pilot you could ever ask for right there. So seatbelt signs are fastened. We're coming through. We'll go ahead and set our altimeters. So altimeters can go to 3022. Let's double check that. Airports. And altimeter is 3022. Some high pressure. 3022 on the altimeter. And we are just passing them. Now we're on our way to Seaver, which is our next intersection that we will fly to, and then we'll go to Birdie, and then we'll go to Nuss, then we'll go to Yabbit, and then after we get to Yabbit, we'll fly to our first part of our approach of the ILS, which should be VFR, so should be kind of applying this visually. Alright, we can get the music playing again. leveling off here at 15,000 because we were supposed to stop at 16 until we get past Seaver, but airplane didn't want to do that, so we're just going to help it out and slow her down. And there's Seaver, so we can go ahead and go on down to 12,000. Alright, coming up on 12,000 at Birdie. Birdshee. Alright, and we'll go ahead and turn off the music and get ready to land this thing. Coming through 12,000 feet, we can go ahead and go on down to 10,000. And as we're getting ready to come up on 10,000 feet, so we'll go ahead and set our auto brake to medium. And auto brake and terrain, and turn on our terrain. And landing lights are coming on. Landing lights are all on, and nose light is set on takeoff. We're all set there. So we're coming up to Nuss, and then after Nuss we can go on into Yabbit and go down to 6,000. Then after Yabbit we'll have Grutch, and at Grutch we need to be at 4,000. And that's when we'll start the approach. Alright, so that's all set. We start our turn, and coming up to Yabbit, and then we'll go direct, and we'll go to Align, insert that, and we're going to direct line, and we can go ahead and go on down to 3,000. And there's our 3,000, so continue our descent on down. And we'll go ahead and turn on our landing systems. And we want to make sure that we have the correct localizer, which is 110.5, 110.55 set up in our nav. There we go. And we'll go ahead and arm our ground spoilers. So those ground spoilers are armed. Go ahead and flip on over. Instead of the arc, we'll go to ILS. On our compass rose. And once the localizer's been captured, here we go. And coming on down to 3,000 at align. That'll get us aligned with the runway to runway 18 left into Dallas Fort Worth. Take a look outside. And the airport is right over here. Downtown Dallas is over here. Alright, landing lights are all on, and now we just need to get ready to set our flaps. Localizer's been captured. We can go ahead and go into approach mode, Cat 1 double, and we can do a Cat 3 dual. So
Traffic.
approach mode has been armed. And we will get lined up with the runway. Right out there is the runway. Yes, runway in sight. And once we get 10 nautical miles out, we'll go ahead and set flaps 1. So right there's our 10. We can go ahead and set flaps 1. Flaps 1 is set. And we can go to normal. So we are good there. Ignition. Go ahead and set to ignition and start on our engines. And 8 nautical miles out, we'll go ahead and go flaps 2. Flaps set to 2. And we'll go gear down. Gear down. And it's indicating 3 green. Seatbelt signs, all that's on. So we've got about a 14 knot, kind of quartering crosswind just off to our right. And we can go ahead and go flaps 3. Flaps 3. We've got the runway in sight. And 4 nautical miles away, we'll go full flaps. Flaps full. Thousand to go. Excuse me. Another airplane flying up above us. I don't know what he's doing, but $500. Alright, flaps are set to full. We'll go ahead and go autopilot and auto throttles off. I've got the airplane.
100 above.
Injured above.
Minimum.
There's our minimums. We've got the runway in sight. We can continue.
100.
100. 50. Start our rollout.
50.
Engines to idle.
30. 20. Retard.
And touchdown. Nose touchdown. Alright, and welcome to Dallas Fort Worth. Any lights can come off. Taxi lights on. Alright, flash coming up, spoilers coming up. And we'll go ahead and turn on our APU. And we can go ahead and engine mode back to normal. And we can go ahead and taxi on back to the ramp. Alright, well, we made it to Dallas without the sim messing up. We've got to figure out these little stutters. I don't know if that's the vertical sync that I need to fix or what that may be, but here's our gate. So we'll go ahead and let this guy pass and turn off our taxi lights so we don't blind all the ground crew. Alright, parking brake is set. Engine 1 off, engine 2 off, seatbelt signs can come off. And we can go ahead and get our passengers off. Alright, well, that was another successful flight, so appreciate everybody watching, and we will see you guys on the next stream. Have a good night.